Kendall James Hocker IV. I retired as a machinist mate first class, surface warfare. Well, I became involved in the Navy in a little bit of a strange manner. My father was an Air Force enlisted for 20 years, and when it came time for me to join the service, he told me not to join the Air Force. The Army recruiter didn't offer me anything. Couldn't find a Marine recruiter, so I joined the Navy because they said I could play with reactors. I went to boot camp in the late May in San Diego. It was warm, but I'd been living in New Mexico for 10 years, so it wasn't anything new, just the humidity was different. Oh, the first morning, when I heard the trash can go down the aisle, the first thought through my mind is, what have I got myself into now? But other than that, it was just things my father tried to teach me all along. Pay attention to detail, pay attention to where you're at and who's around you, and learn. It was something I hadn't really seen too much of before, but my father was in the Air Force. I saw a lot of his units. It was almost like being at home, except for it was a tighter group that I was with because I was now an actual member. My training, the schools I went to was I started boot camp and I went to MMA school up at Great Lakes, and then down to Florida, Orlando, to the old nuclear power school. And then from there up to New York for prototype and then on to the Nimitz. The MMA school was quick, to say the least. Once I got into the pre-portion of it was about 2 weeks. I went through MMA school in 6 days, which was all self-paced. And then we had 6 days of in-hull training. And then it was on my way out of there. Went to the Naval Nuclear Power School. That was 6 months of classroom. We went from 2+2 to integral calculus, through reactor physics, reactor theory, electrical, electronics, metallurgy, the whole ball of wax in 6 months. And then we went up to prototype and we learned how to run a reactor plant hands-on. Everybody else wanted me to be an electrical type, and I didn't care for that. I like turn wrenches. So that's how I ended up being a Navy nuke machinist mate. Pretty much my entire naval career was training for the unexpected, because you never knew what could go wrong or when. You had to anticipate it. There's very few times I've actually been surprised after my naval training. But I've enjoyed a lot of it. My greatest lesson learned in Orlando, I was actually smart enough to get it done, to graduate that program. At times I didn't think I'd be able to pass. We were on top of the world that night when we found out we passed. Myself and all of my classmates. I went up to Boston Spa, Saratoga Springs, the Kesselring site, where I trained on a submarine reactor for 6 months. Working with an actual reactor, we actually basically we just made power for our little unit. We had a main engine that turned in a water break. It was basically learning how to drive.